Okay. All right. Let's see. I really should know what I'm doing now. Right? Something like that. Let's put everything where it needs to be. Make sure everything is where I think it is. And then we will start this over. Yeah.
I couldn't understand any of that.
Hi. I'm speaking Yawnese. Oh, hello. Welcome to the Troubadork show. The special 4 hours of sleep edition, which I will get into momentarily. I am, of course, Tobias. I have had 4 hours of sleep, so this could be a really entertaining show for so many ways. Oh, wow. How do I even begin? Well, my lovely wife, Amy, volunteered for a thing that happened really, really early today. So she got up really, really early today, and I got up really, really early today because that's the kind of guy I am. My beloved wife is going to go out there and, deal with stuff that I'm going to be her support mechanism. And so she took off, and I tried to go back to sleep, and I was not successful. Not successful at all. So here I am. Several hours into my day. I've been up for about 14 hours, I think, on 4 hours of sleep. In a lot of ways, this is very reminiscent of doing Faire, because sleeping well at Faire is a oxymoron, a weird concept, and probably very silly to expect. But I have 4 songs for you. They are going to be songs that I'm fairly confident in and that I have been able to play before, and I think we may actually have this fatigue may be beneficial because I may actually play these songs at the right tempo rather than bashing away at them like a chihuahua on espresso. It's a theory. Oh. Hope everybody is doing well out there. I will not yawn during the show much, maybe. I, however, am going to probably be just slightly loopier than usual, because as I get tired, and those of you who have hung out with me can vouch for this, as I get tired, the editor takes a break. The editor decides there is no good reason for him to hang out and do stuff, and so things just go from the hindbrain straight out the mouth without stopping and checking with any other parts of the brain itself. It's all just lizard comedy brain, boom, out into the world. Oh. I actually had to rearrange the order of these songs about an hour ago when I realized something, which I will tell you about as we get to the part where it makes sense to tell you about it. Do you know my friend from Faire? Do you know my friend from Faire? He's 4 foot taller, and he's got browner sandy hair. And he has a hat and tankard, and he wears these great big boots. And he wanders around in a loincloth or one of them doublet suits. I think this is actually the tempo that I originally wrote it at, and it's just been gradually accelerating over time. Do you know my friend from Faire? Do you know my friend from Faire? He is a unique individual, no one else can compare. For he always sings or juggles as he goes about the town, and he always has a great big sword that ought to narrow it down. This is based on a conversation that I've had dozens of times, and you probably have too. Do you know my friend from Faire? Do you know my friend from Faire? If you saw him coming down the lane, you'd have to stop and stare. Don't recall if it's pickles, pretzels, or if it's popcorn that he sells. You can hear him coming from a mile away on account of that he wears bells. I know I got some Morris dancers in my crowd, too. Do you know my friend from Faire? Do you know my friend from Faire? He's the coolest guy in all the world, I truly do declare. If you saw him in person, then you'd know of whom I speak. For he dresses like a pirate, now isn't that unique? Pirate! With pointy ears. Elf pirate. And gossamer wings. Fairy elf pirate. And a kilt. Scottish fairy elf pirate. And horns. Demon Scottish fairy elf pirate. And fangs! Vampire Scottish fairy elf demon pirate! And a foxtail. Nobody knows why. Do you know my friend from Faire? I think I saw him over there. His name is Wolf or Hawk or Raven, or I think it might be Bear. Well, we've never met outside of Faire, but I'm sure he'll be along. Hey, wait a minute. I'm talking about you. I guess I'll end this song. There we go. That's the way that rolls out. Hey folks, Kay, Shadow, Richard. Amy is acting as my greeter because I don't have the technology in place that I can actually see people actually connecting to the show right now. But we're working on it. I actually did spend a little bit of the Patreon patron pennies that have been sent my way. Got my hands on a Logitech web camera. It's not the most expensive, fanciest model because those things have sold out, but it should be one that'll get me where I need to be and free up my phone so I no longer have to rely on that. The reason I'm doing that is so that I can try using, instead of OBS, Open Broadcast Studio, I can use Streamlabs OBS, which will mean that I'll be able to use fancy templates and widgets and have a little chat thing on the side and all that fanciness, so that I can actually see the conversation in just one screen instead of having like 14 windows open trying to keep things organized here. That's a theory. When that happens, we will transition over to the Tobias the Adequate page on Facebook, but we may also be able to start streaming this on other platforms, including YouTube and Twitch. There's a service you can actually get that'll multi-stream your stuff, which means I'm getting even more complicated than I thought I would ever get. But that's okay, because I'm in a position in my life right now where I can actually afford to complicate my life just a little bit more in trivial ways. So, Friend from Faire is one of my openers. The next song I'm going to do is also one of my openers, and it's an opener because it's peppy and happy and everybody likes it. Okay, it's going to make a squee noise. I just kind of know that. Because it's that one. That's right. I may actually play this at the right tempo. Like I said before, I have a tendency to just try to Godzilla my way through these songs. So I think the fatigue is actually acting as nature's own metronome and getting me to slow down long enough so people can actually hear the songs. And I'm actually enjoying performing and hearing them because I have to consciously think about it, which is even more exciting with the general lack of sleep. So we'll see. There goes the E. Possums in a trench coat come to tea. They sit right at a table like you and me. Do they want another biscuit? Better give them 3, 'cause they're not really a guy. They're 6 possums in a trench coat. Possums in a trench coat go to town. Got themselves an Uber, couldn't flag it down. Now the driver didn't stop, no, he just kept on going, cause he didn't want to drive 6 possums in a trench coat. Nobody noticed the error. Possums in a trench coat see a show. Do you give them just one seat or the entire front row? Do the possums in the middle just peek out through the button span? I got so many questions for 6 possums in a trench coat. If I keep making that mistake, people are going to notice. Bridge! Possums in a trench coat on a date. Got there 20 minutes early, couldn't stand to be late. Everything turned out to go much better than expected, cause their date turned out to be 6 possums in a caftan. Possums in a trench coat. Possums in a trench coat. Possums in a trench coat. 6 possums in a caftan. Apparently, Delilah Kitty likes possums in a trench coat.
Yeah, she rolled over so she could hear it better.
One of our 2 cats, Delilah, the fluffy girl who's been adopted 3 times. We are her 3rd adopted family. She was adopted, returned, surrendered. She was then adopted and abandoned, lost, found, chipped, was checked, and they said, no, we don't want her. We are the 3rd family, and we are her forever home. She has a tendency to try to escape when I'm playing music. But apparently she liked Possums in a Trench Coat because she rolled over on the couch out there in the library to listen to the song. So that's encouraging. And is currently behind a pillow?
Well, she was. She's not
Ah. She's not trying to block out the sound. Hey, Rob. Yes, Possums. I am working on a couple more songs. I'm Dating a Werewolf is coming along. I've got about half of it, so 2 verses in the chorus. I think there's 2 more verses to write before we get to where I want to be with it. Then there's the strumming rhythm, which is a little odd because I have to figure out how to sing and strum this rhythm at the same time. Hard enough time just strumming that rhythm, but the words I'm going to be singing are syncopated to the strumming, and not syncopated in like an easy way either, because the rhythm and the scansion are all weird. But when I get I'm Dating a Werewolf down, I will finish writing it, and then I will probably practice it over the weekend, and maybe I'll be able to unleash it next week. That's your little impromptu status update brought to you by lack of sleep and strange thought processes.
Where's the friend that Possums in a Trench Coat is?
Possums in a Trench Coat was inspired by Cameron. Is Cameron on?
No.
Okay.
Richard was asking if you had named the possums.
Oh, I have not named the possums. There are 6 of them. One of them is probably named Cameron. One of them is likely named Bob, because there's gonna be a possum named Bob, if there's gonna be. Bob is just it's a traditional possum name. Yes, indeed. Which 3 don't get crackers? Well, you see there, they actually divide the crackers up. So each possum gets half a cracker. That's the way they spread it out. So that'll work.
It's much easier to split them in half than to try and split into 6.
Yeah, if you split you can split them in half. That way you can evenly divide them. If you try to divide every one of them up by 6, then they don't. Thankfully, possums are startlingly good at math and fractions. It's a true story. All right, Geraldine. Okay, one maybe. Okay, so we've got Bob, we've got Cameron, Bob, and Geraldine. If you've seen the Possums in a Trench Coat picture Mel White drew for me. Let me see if I can find it. What the heck? We've got a little time, and I feel like just being a little goofy here. So I'm going to take Platypus Postman, and I'm going to see if I can find the Possums drawing here. Hang on a second. Because if I can find the Possums drawing, I will put it up to show you. Come on. Welcome to We're Not That Organized. Yes, there it is. 6 possums in a trench coat. There it is. So, transition. That is 6 possums in a trench coat, as drawn by Mel White. I'm pretty sure Geraldine is the one on the top with the glasses. I'm not 100% certain, but that possum really looks like Geraldine to me. So now you know. Now you know. Now I think I'm going to have to make a special possum scene because I don't want to mess up. I want to put Platypus back so that when I do Platypus Postman again, we can put that up. And eventually we'll just have all kinds of weird stuff in here. Now, the reason I had to change the order of the songs, initially I was going to open with Possums in a Trench Coat and then do Friend from Faire. Because the next song that I'm going to do is the Hasselhoff Ballad. We'll put the possums away for now. There we go. And Roberto? Yeah, okay. All right, so we've got Cameron, Bob, Geraldine, and Roberto. That's... Hatchback would be one of them, yeah. Oh, geez. I'm going to write this down because now we're actually naming the darn possums here. So, we've got Geraldine, Cameron, Bob, Roberto, Hatchback.
Hatchback's the one on the bottom.
Yeah, Hatchback is probably the one on the bottom. And that leaves us with one other one. I'm not sure what that possum's name is, but we will doubtless... Huh?
Sophia.
Sophia is the fun... All right, we have named them. Oh my gosh. All right. So Geraldine's on top, Hatchback's on the bottom, and I will wager that if you take a look at the art again, we may actually have a discussion of the possum order and George. Well, see, George is Hatchback's legal name. But, you know, they call him Hatchback. It's a thing. And we are getting ourselves way, way off topic, which is a beautiful thing for me as far as I'm concerned here. We have named the possums. I'm going to share that with... gosh. It's so nuts. I will share that around because I'm sure that's going to get all kinds of entertainment out of that. All right, so Hasselhoff Ballad. The reason that I had to put Possums in a Trench Coat between Friend from Faire and Hasselhoff Ballad is that there is there's a similarity in the chord structure. Friend from Faire goes in. You know my friend from Faire. Do you know my friend from Faire? It's 4 foot taller, and he's got brown or sandy hair. And that's basically C, F, C, D, G. Hasselhoff Ballad makes use of C, F, and G. And it also uses that kind of walking rhythm, but a little different because this is a different kind of song. So I wanted there to be something in between to break that up. Otherwise, it would just flow seamlessly because the chord structure is roughly the same, and people would begin to wonder if I was like doing a Fish concert or something. I'm just playing the same song for half an hour. I'm not that good. All right, let's get happy. It's a happy song, light-hearted, about gambling und drunkenness und defenestration. I was gambling in Helsinki, down upon mein luck, Oh, the lot of these big Flemish guys, I felt that I was stuck. I thought I was gonna show surrounded by mine foes. Then I remembered Hasselhoff when he solved all my woes. For he wrote the incredibly useful and informative pamphlet of self-defense entitled Just Grabs Them by the Crotch, Wounds and Throws Them Out the Window. A lovely way to get above whatever makes you blue. Just grabs them by the crotch, wounds and throws them out the window. It's amazing what a little flick of wrist and arm can do. Well, I cleared myself out of their wound. I fled down to the bar. I happily sipped lager, maybe 2 or 15 jars. Some massive Swedish mercenary spoke ill of my ma. I did not think I could escape this peril quite unscarred. And then I remembered the wisdom of Oscar Hasselhoff. Just grabs them by the crotch, wounds and throws them out the window. A lovely way to get above whatever makes you blue. Just grabs them by the crotch, wounds and throws them out the window. It's amazing what a little flick of wrist and arm can do. I had gathered quite a crowd by the great feat I did perform. I ordered me another round, for I had grown quite warm. But when the time to settle came, pleas of credit were all scorned. And although I tried to stand my ground, mine fate was quite forewarned. For shockingly enough, they too had read Hasselhoff. So they grabbed me by the crotch, and they threw me out the window. Well, that was dot effective, I thought, as I was passing through. They grabbed me by the crotch, and they threw me out the window. Yes, it seems defenestration works on well as me as you. Just grabs them by the crotch, everybody owns and throws them out the window. Sing a lovely way to get above whatever makes you blue. Just grabs them by the crotch, owns and throws them out the window. It's amazing what a little flick of wrist and arm can do. I always feel better after singing that song. Not the least of which because it allows me to adopt a completely unjustifiable accent otherwise. Yes, we will have to post a picture of the possums and list the names in order so everyone can weigh in the final on the positions of 2 of 6. That's true. It's a lovely day. It's incredibly stupidly hot here in South Texas. It's been up over 100 degrees, and which is to be expected, actually. We live in South Texas. We are 12 feet away from the sun. This is why basketball is played indoors in San Antonio, because if you jump up, you might accidentally touch the sun and burst into flames. Now, the last song is one that I love, and I strongly suspect you love, and it's one of those songs that once I got the hang of it, it's like, oh, we simply have to do this as much as possible. I do worry that I am doing the same songs over and over again, which, granted, if I was doing a Renaissance festival, I could easily do 4 shows a day, the same 4 songs, or do 4 shows a day and do like 2 sets of songs, or whatever. But this one just called for it. Let me check something here. I'm hearing something, and either the ukulele is falling out of tune, or I am just really tired. It's actually getting higher pitched as I bash away at it. There's some law of thermodynamics here that is simply playing silly buggers with me. That or the batteries need to be changed in the tuner. I actually had that problem when I took the strum box, the 4-string cigar box guitar that Michael Van Slyke of Archangel Arts made for me, out to Faire the first time. I couldn't for the life of me figure out why it was I was having so much trouble harmonizing with the other performers, until I realized that the battery in my tuner had begun to die, and it was making me tune the thing wrong. Magician, not musician, although I'm getting there. When we get to show 50, I might have to do something kind of big and weird and goofy. Goofier than normal. But we'll see. We will see. Let's do the thing, shall we? This one also starts in C. Eat Bertha's mussels. They're the best there is by far. You can eat them in the dining room. You can eat them in the bar. So when you're ashore in Baltimore and you fancy a bite to eat, just follow your nose to Bertha's and you'll be in for a rare old treat. Well, a sailor came to Bertha's with a problem most severe. His manly pride had been atrophied by a voyage of 14 years. So he ate a plate of mussels. Now he sings in a different key. His jibboom set right, he'll be back there tonight, and he's not going back to sea. So eat Bertha's mussels. They're the best there is by far. You can eat them in the dining room. You can eat them in the bar. So when you're ashore in Baltimore and you fancy a bite to eat, just follow your nose to Bertha's and you'll be in for a rare old treat. Now a lady came to Bertha's who wanted a daughter or son. The doctors had said with a shake of their heads that she couldn't have either one. So she ate a plate of mussels and went home to her husband dear. She tuned up his cruth, and to tell you the truth, they had triplets the very next year. So eat Bertha's mussels, yum, they're the best there is by far. You can eat them in the dining room, you can eat them in the bar. So when you're ashore in Baltimore and you fancy a bite to eat, just follow your nose to Bertha's and you'll be in for a rare old treat. They will cure your diarrhea, oh thank God, cure your constipation too. Just swallow a box for the chicken pox, for the measles, or the flu. So if you fancy a healthy life, get your daily dosage straight. A plate a day of Bertha's mussels, and you'll live till you're 98. So eat Bertha's mussels, sing! They're the best there is by far. I can't hear you, I don't care, it's real eat. You can eat them in the dining room, you can eat them in the bar. So when you're ashore in Baltimore and you fancy a bite to eat, just follow your nose to Bertha's and you'll be in for a rare old treat. And so we come sliding in sideways at the end of another unexpectedly interesting and bewilderingly complex, confusing, bewildering, befuddling, and downright fun Troubadork non-commute show. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. This started off, honestly, as a way to keep my sanity during the quarantine, and although we're opening up, the numbers still say, dude, you might want to stay inside a little bit longer. Oh, so we will carry this on with this until such time as until such time as we are comfortable going back out and doing the full driving to work and driving back thing, and not so much the working from home thing. At which point we will turn this into a weekly thing and probably do it on Sundays. Miranda, thank you for thanking me. I always appreciate that. Kay, I am looking forward to hearing that harmony line. I really am. I know I'm a tenor. I can't get away from it. You are a baritone, and I kind of resent you for that, but you know, life is like that. Your neck is longer than mine. That's all that is. That's all it is. It's neck length. It's neck length. Guys with short necks always say that. So let's talk about the tip jars and so forth. We've got paypal.me/theadequate, ko-fi.com/theadequate. Robert and Rick and Emily have all dropped some cash in there. I appreciate that. That actually went towards the Chordify software, which allowed me to figure out how to play the chords in burlap, which I'm still wrestling with because there's this weird D to B minor chord, which is painful as heck on here. I have done it on the baritone ukulele, and it plays a little differently there, so we'll see, you know, if I bring it back or not. It's not really my song, so I'm not too worried. It's the Poxy Boggards song. Go check them out. They are, of course, the world-famous Poxy Boggards at poxyboggards.com. You can support Adequacy in our lifetime, just like BK and Richard and Kaylee and Alicia and Lorene and Relly and John and Brian have at patreon.com/theadequate. They are, their donations and contributions were, in fact, what will allow me to get a real webcam. So we'll see how that turns out. Okay, July 14th. All right, we'll make a note of that. We'll try and synchronize up. This could be fun. Huh?
Is he crashing here?
I don't know, Kay. Are you crashing here? Let us know. We'll work it out. See, this is what happens when you start talking like social stuff in a live stream. We just do it. You can find some of the recorded stuff, including as I get these tracks down, over at soundcloud.com/Matthew-Laguerre. The old shows are all archived at facebook.com/TobiasTheAdequate, and I also put them all up at youtube.com/MPLEGARE under the Troubadork playlist. I'm usually about a week behind. I've got a week behind, but that's not the point. I'm going to be getting last week's shows up probably like tomorrow during the day because I can just upload things and watch it happen and carry on. We will eventually be branching out into other venues. We'll see how it goes from there. Oh, Carpe Diem Comics is, of course, the official emotional support comic shop of Tobias the Adequate, the Troubadork Show, Artisanal Gibberish, the Adequate Podcast, if and when we get that going again. Anything else that seems like a good idea at the time, you can find them in McKinney, Texas, or at carpediemcomicsonline.square.site. Do support your local. Support your local comic shop, support your local craft store, and support your local game store. Support the local places that don't have big corporations backing them up. They need you. Because without you, they're just a big room full of stuff. That's what I say. 4 hours of sleep. That's what this show is like on 4 hours of sleep. If I do get booked for a Renaissance festival or two, there will probably be some 4 hours of sleep shows, which will be even funnier because I'll be able to interact directly with the audience instead of trying to make sure that I can keep up with the slide thing here. I think this has been a good one. I think we've had a good time. I'll be doing a show on Wednesday and a show on Thursday, and we'll just stay in the rhythm, barring force majeure. And we will carry on from there. Show number 50, I don't know what I'm going to do, but 50 is a big number, so I kind of feel like I ought to do something, you know. I was very excited when I got to 10. 50 is looming on the horizon, and it's really weird to look at that and go, have I actually committed to doing this many shows? Or have I just started doing it and never really fell out of the habit? I don't know, but it's been fun. I want to thank y'all for hanging out with me again for another day. We'll see you back here on Tuesday. And in the meantime... Sorry, today is Tuesday. We'll see you back on Wednesday. That's right, because I took Monday off because I had to do work things. In the meantime, and in between times, be good to yourselves. Be good to each other. Don't panic. And when in doubt, just remember, without y'all, this show really is just a guy sitting in a room, hammering away on a ukulele that he can almost play, singing songs he can almost sing, but to nobody. Y'all validate me. And as a performer, I need an awful lot of validation. All right, y'all. See you next time.